C++ programming language is the basic language for all other object-oriented programming languages, isn't it? Hello everyone, you are watching Programming with Pushprata. I'm here again with the C++ topic, and today we are going to learn classes and objects. Classes and objects is a concept which is very important for object oriented programming, whether it is C++ or any other OOPS or programming, that is Java, Python, C sharp. So classes and objects are everywhere. So you have to clear first the basic concepts related to the classes and objects. So classes and objects are the main related to object oriented programming. So first of all, we will see the definition part of the classes and objects. They are interrelated with each other and they are the basic concepts of object oriented programming. A class is basically a user defined prototype from which we create the objects, isn't it? As you see on the screen, basically a class combines fields and member functions, which defines actions into a single unit. That means what? Whenever we want the data members and the functions all together in a single unit, we declared class for that. Okay, so if we elaborate this thing, that means if we are declaring a class in C++, then we have to declare an object, because class, when we declare the class, it has no existence till we create the objects. And when we talk about the object oriented programming, there is a one concept which we have already understand in our previous videos, that there is a one concept called as data hiding, which we can done with the help of classes. So class also gives us the format like this. So we encapsulate the data into two parts in a single unit. So the term encapsulation is always related to your classes. So data members are there and functions are all together there in a single box. Now you can see on the screen objects person1, person2, person3 are the objects which we will create. That means each object will carry name, age, hobby and get data, display data. That means all the three objects will create the structure like the given. You can say why we create the object, because an object is an instance of a class. When a class is defined, no memory is allocated, but when it is created or it is instantiated, memory is allocated. See, a class is defined in C++ using keyword class followed by the name of the class. We will see in the practicals as well as in the theory portion, but first of all you have to clear yourself with the data members and the data functions. So you have to encapsulate all the things together for in a single unit. The term encapsulation is related to this. So when we talk about object oriented programming in encapsulation is a main term for that. That is, we are putting the data members and the data functions together in a single unit so that we can do the concept of data hiding, isn't it? Now, if we talk about the things that how we can define the class practically, so we have to declare with the syntax. Syntax is a rule, that means how we can define and declare a class in any programming, that is a syntax. So what we have to do, we have to mention a keyword class. So class should be in small case, as we know that C++ is a case sensitive language. So it should be in a small, then the class name, then data members and data or the data fields, we can say methods are declared inside the class, with the definition part, right, with the proper semicolon, or if you are defining inside, then you need not to use a semicolon. We will see in the practicals all the things together. But the one thing which is not clear till now, that is a visibility label. See, class is a encapsulation form that is in a particular box, right? So we need to provide the visibility for it. That means whether every user or the data members and data functions are visible to the main. We are giving an example, then it will be clear for you that there is one visibility label called as public. So public means all the variables are accessible through the main. So if I declare a main, if I declare a main programming as you are declaring in a C++, so it will be visible to the main. I can access the variable R because it is in public. That is, visibility label is public. That means now the visibility is for all the other functions. But if I use a keyword private here, there is one keyword called as private, so it will not be accessible. That means the data hiding concept will be there. Data hiding is that we are not accessible, we are not able to access the data members or the data methods or the functions. So remember this. We will do the practical in the later videos as well as for the private, public and protected. But today in this lecture we are going with the very basic thing, that is how class is declared and how class can be implemented in C++. We have to do many more practical programs and related to the public, private and protected, but today we have to go with the only the syntax. That means every student is very much confused about the syntax, so that's the reason we are here for this. So keep watching. Now, when we say the syntax is like that, I have declared a class and I want to access the things inside the main, because as C++ is an object-oriented programming, but the entry point is always the main, isn't it? So we have to create the objects. Whenever I declare a class outside the main, now I have to access the data members of the class inside the main, isn't it? So I need a particular process. For example, if I have to declare a variable, I declare like data type and the variable, isn't it? So in the similar manner, if I have to declare an object, what I will do, I will create an object with the class name. That means I will mention the class name, because the object is not simple variable now. So it has a data type which is a type of class. So class is a what? User defined data type, where we have put the data members, different data members and the functions all together. So you need to create like this. You have to mention class name, you have to mention the object name, isn't it? Now you are created, you are done, you have created inside the main the object. Now next step is what? We have to assess. Now we have almost done. We have created the object, we have created the class. Now we want to assess the data members and the functions through the main. So we have already done that. We declare the object like this. Now we assess the object name dot the data member, object name dot the function. That means every time whatever you are doing with the data member or with the data functions or with the function name, you have to mention a dot operator. This is very, very important to learn. Without the dot operator and without the object name, you can't access the data member and the data functions. You have to always remember this, isn't it? So this is the most important thing. Then sometimes students make the objects and they forget to put the objects with the dot operator to assess, and they are assessing like they are assessing in the previous before the classes, like the data member or like the function name. So it's not like that. Every time whenever you are assessing a data member or a function name from the class, you have to create the object first, and then you have to use the object name with the operator, then the data member or the function name, whatever you want to use. So you have to keep in mind that you can't use the data member or the function name which are declared inside the class simply. Now, one more thing is there. The C programmers which have done C programming as before C++, then they have a question in their mind, that we have done the structure in the similar manner, we have created the structure object in the similar manner, that what is the difference between the structure and a class? First of all, the class gives you the security purpose, that is for data hiding. Now in case of structure in C++, you can't hide the data, isn't it the first difference? But in class, you can hide the data by putting the visibility private, right? We will do in the later videos that about this, we will do in the later lectures, but before that you have to differentiate both the things. A class is a user defined, a structure as well as a user defined, but a class combines the fields and methods, that is functions and data members together, but a structure contains only the different data types in a single unit. That means functions are not there. A class can be declared with the class keyword, a structure can be declared with the struct keyword. So this is the basic difference, you can say. But we can say both are almost similar, because both are the user defined data types, isn't it? And both hold a bunch of different type of data, right? But in case of class, there is one more facility, or you can say advanced facility, that we can hide the data by putting the visibility, and we can secure our data, and it can encapsulate the both data members as well as the data functions together, which is not possible in case of your structures, isn't it? Hope this is clear to you. Now, when we talk about practicals, when we want to move about the practicals, so we have to start with the same what we are doing, that is the include IOStream. As you know, IOStream is for what? Using namespace. We have already done this. Namespace std for what? We have already done. So we will create a class with the particular name. Usually you should create a class with the capitals, right? So I create a class like with the keyword class and a, and I put inside, see, we are going for the practical, so we will do step by step. So as we have cleared our theory, so that's the reason theoretical portion should be clear, then the practical is very easy. Now I define the function get here, and I see out enter the number. So I enter the number, I put a semicolon at the end, then I go with the cin statement, then I put a variable like I am using inside the main, right? Now this is a function for getting the number, right? Now I use another function inside the class. See, we are doing everything which is inside the class, but main is not there, entry point of the program is not there till now. So we are just using the concept of class. So we are encapsulating, we have encapsulate A with the get and display. So that's it. So this is a simple encapsulation, the box which we have seen in a theory portion, that we are encapsulating both the things inside the class. So now it's very you can say fixed in a box. So it is secure now. We can say it is secure now because it is in object oriented programming, that is it is in classes. It is not in an external environment, it has put in a box. But when we create the object inside the main, see, we have created A with the name AA, and we declare, or we can say call the functions with the help of that object, as we have already studied in your theory portion, that we have to call the methods or the functions with the object oriented, right? If we do not use the objects, right, we will see in a practical, it will prompt you an error, because we need to create an object, because it has no existence inside the main till we create the object and till we you know assess through this. So what we will do, see what happens there, why it's the, see, the error is why it's a private. See, as I have told in your theory portion, that if we do without this public visibility, that means visibility label is very important. So one thing you have to remember, that by default class is private. By default, this question is always asked in a any examination. So if I don't use any visibility, what will be it? It will be private. So we have to specifically, that is explicitly mention that it is public. Now when I run the program, and I will see, because I have not used conio.h, so I put conio.h for what? Get ch, because every function which you are using inside the C++ or in any other language needs the particular header file. That so we will compile the program and we will see now the errors are 00, and we will run the program and see what happens, whether the program will work or not. So we will see the errors are 00, warning is 00. So we will go with the run and we will see, enter the number, we will enter the number 45 and value is the 45. That's it. So this is a simple, you can say, program of classes and objects. So what we do, we create a class, we create the object, and we assess the objects, methods or functions with the help of the object. If we don't use the object, so this is the main block that we have seen in a theory portion, isn't it? This is the main block which we have seen in a theory portion. Right, now we will just do something different than this. This is a simple class and object. Now for example, if I do like this, and if I'm not able to create the objects, for example I will not create the object and I just run the program, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Why nothing will happen? It will not print, the blank screen will be there. So errors are not there, 00 errors are, but the class is there, but still it is not displaying the class. Why it's not displaying the class? See, it's not displaying anything. Why? Because class existence is not there, because the entry point is always the main, and main, inside the main there is nothing to display and nothing to show. So class existence is always there whenever we declare an object. Now without the object it will prompt you an error, because display is not the function of main outside. It is the function of what? If it is a simple function then it will work, but display is not declared inside, outside the main. It is declared inside the class, right? It is declared inside the class. So it is not the outside the class, then it will automatically get, because normal functions are like that, but we have declared inside, so we have to work with the objects. Now we will run, it will not again run. Why? Because we have not created the object till. So we have to create the object with the class name and with the object. We have comment the thing, so we will uncomment the thing and we will again the run. Right, see, now the program should work, because we have created now object, and now the initialization is 0, because what? We have seen display, so value is by default 0 in case of classes. Now if I use a get method here now, and it will again run the program, and we will run the program, we will see what happens now. Yes, it will work 101%, because we have used the object, we have assessed the object, particular. Then we will run program and we will see what happens. The object will be defined, right? See, we have created the class, we have created the class with the public. Now what if I use a keyword private here, right? See, we have seen without the public, but we want to see with the help of private also. So it will prompt you an error. It's not basically an error, it's a hiding accessibility, that get is a private, because you have put the private before that method. Now you want to display, you want to use the private methods as well as the public. So what you want, what you do, you will do what? You will put the private as a int a and rest of the things at public. That means you have to know one thing today, that remember this thing, public functions can access the private functions or variables of that class. This line again I am repeating, public, see the output, public functions can get or access the private variables or the private member of that class. So see, get is a public and a is a private, but a is the member of capital A, get is a member of capital A. So both are from the same class, so they can access each other, but a can't be accessible through the main, right? A can't be. So this is the main funda of your classes and objects. Hope all the things are cleared. Now we will meet again with the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.